Oh man, and right behind me we got ASTC again breaking above $7. This stock just will not stop. It's really good fun to watch. Although I gotta say we missed the big move to the upside. I closed out my position. I got a nice little dip by about 5%, 4 to 5% on that one, and then just whack, a few minutes later, it runs up 100%. Just whew. It didn't really bother me though that we missed that big move to the upside. I wanted my quick trade. I knew what I wanted and I got it, so I was really happy about that one. I was expecting a secondary or a third pullback even, and then I wanted to build up another position for a potential move higher because based on the way stocks have been trading the last few weeks with the volatile market, I knew that most of the time, actually, we haven't really seen just a randomly big spike like we did today. It just has not been happening. So the chances were really, or the odds were against that from happening. And this time it happened and we were not on board, which is totally fine. If anything, it's a really good sign to what is to come. So today, like always, I'll be reviewing the two lead gappers, but I want to be focusing on why did ASTC and not CTSO, our other lead gapper, rip so much. I'll talk about some of the reasons because honestly, the catalysts were a little bit reversed. I would have thought the catalyst for CTSO was much more powerful, but it wasn't. You got to trade the market you're in. You also got to be trading the price action you're seeing. And then also I want to talk about yesterday's lead gapper IMAC in a very, very profitable way to trade these lead gappers that might already be dead and not really moving today. So they're not really worth watching, but here's a little trick that has helped me grow one of my accounts 4 times in the last few months. And I think you'll love this strategy as well. I'm talking about it specifically today because it happened during the live streams. So you guys all saw it live and I figured why not review it today, the recap video as well. All right guys, let's get into the charts and definitely don't forget to hit that like button if you are enjoying this content. And if you're totally new here, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to see you again in an upcoming recap video or on the live stream. It's time to get her done. All right, so that wraps up quite a crazy little day we had today. It's 11:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and let's get into it. So this is the SPY. It's been bouncing up and down all day today, and right now we're right around 1% up. Nasdaq's down 0.4, SPX up 0.7, and then Dow Jones up 2.5. So a bit of a bounce day, kind of holding on to the highs from yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out which direction to go in. And what was really nice about that is when we ran the scanner this morning, we didn't have more than 27 stocks, I think it was, or 28. And then by the time the opening bell, there was a bit more. There was like 40 and then there was 50. But our gap scanner was really nice because there wasn't clear direction in the overall market. So what do traders do? They really focus on those small caps. And I was really excited when I ran the scanner this morning. So let's go ahead and talk about our lead gapper, which actually are two lead gappers, CTSO and ASTC. So we could talk about both of them, but which one to start with? Thinking. I guess we'll just talk about ASTC because this is really the big one today. This is the one that everyone was watching, and this is the one that we also had our first green trade on. So let me quickly go here and scroll back a little bit to pre-market, and let me go here. Pre-market was looking pretty good. We were up about 235% today. It was on the daily chart. I'm just kind of skipping around here. Apologize for that. On the daily chart, first big green day. That's typically what we're always looking for. Does have a lot of kind of failed spikes to the upside, but we had these clear support and resistance levels that we were kind of breaking out of. So pre-market, we hit 4 or got close to 4 right here, and we were pulling all the way back. Actually, how far did we pull back? So we pulled to $4, roughly to $4, and then we're kind of holding the highs at around 3, which was pretty nice. To be honest, I was waiting for a little bit more of a pullback, maybe to 2.5 or 2.7, something like that. And that's kind of when I wanted to get aggressive, but we never really got it. They had good news on it as well. Screening for coronavirus device, which is good in the field. So kind of a new method that was a big improvement from what I've read in the articles. But again, I don't really know. And I was just looking at the markets, and apparently, it's good enough news to run it up 230, 280% pre-market. Out of the gates, we had a bit of a red to green move where we had this big spike to the upside, but then we pulled back. This was about a 20% move and 2 candles. But then we pulled back here, and then eventually we broke above 4, and this was the red to green move. I was trying to get some entries here at 3.50 3, but ideally into the 3.27. This is really where I was trying to get my limit order in, right in this area. But I said in the stream, you know, anywhere between 3.2 and 3.4 would be a pretty good entry. So I probably should have just gotten a little bit more aggressive on this one. But you know, the overall market, what we've been seeing the last few weeks, it's paid to kind of be a bit more conservative. This time, it ripped really hard. So it's hard to know when it's going to be the good, you know, which stock is going to pull back so strong. To be honest, I was not expecting this news to be such a strong catalyst, because CTSO, we'll talk about in a second, I thought the catalyst was a little bit stronger. It was a possible corona treatment, already cured, or not cured, but it's been used on 70 people with good results. So I thought, okay, CTSO could be much better. But, you know, ASTC, we've been seeing a lot of screening news for coronavirus and or coronavirus tests. So I thought, you know, maybe it's a bit overplayed, but I think CTSO, which I really want to ASTC, which I really want to point out, is this 6 million shares outstanding. And I checked, the float is 4 million. So this one has much more spikeability than CTSO, with shares outstanding around 35 million and the float at 31 million. So that gave ASTC much more chance that it's going to just absolutely rip to the upside. And look how much this is trading. Remember in yesterday's and Monday's recap, I was saying, you know, these small caps are a little slow right now. We're getting between 10 million and $30 million volume. What we want to be seeing is, you know, 50, 100, 150, maybe even $300 million volume by noon. And look at this one, ASTC, $146 million volume. So this is finally getting into that action. So traders are interested in this one, and it's being aggressively traded. So a lot of signs on ASTC that this could be the one. So let's talk about how we traded this one. You know, Amiscus kind of moved to the upside. We had some pullbacks here. I was always waiting for a bigger crack under 4. That's eventually when we got it. We actually had a near perfect entry here at 3.73. Then we had a 1 minute spike to the upside. I closed this position, took my 5% profit. I think it was even smaller because it was a small position size. It was like a 4.5 or something % profit, and then kind of moved on. I was expecting this to pull back 1 or 2 more times, but we never got that. It tried to pull back here in this area. It didn't work. And then rip over 4, and then just one giant green candle gets halted and 20% move. Really impressive. I was not expecting that. We haven't seen moves like that in weeks, I feel like, with these small caps. And if they happen like, I don't know, at 12 or some really odd time, or, you know, early afternoon or something like that you just don't expect. So I was really not expecting this move, but this was a really, really big move. And I personally missed the run to the upside, but some people really got it. And this, you know, is a 100% move to the upside. A lot of you guys in the chat room were snagging ASTC, so good work on that one. Yeah, to me, I was pretty happy with my 4 to 5% trade, and I moved on. I was hoping, my goal was to get ASTC again on a dip here closer to 3.5. That was my original goal, and then I wanted to hold it a little bit longer. So I kind of missed that second part. There was a lot of buying, there's a lot of aggression, and, you know, here on the 5-minute chart, we pulled back to the 15-minute EMA, and the VWAP holds very well, and then we just rip from there. So we haven't seen moves like this in a while, and I'm super stoked that even though I didn't get it, it was just so much fun watching a move like this kind of happen again, seeing it back in here. So I hope that we're going to see a lot more moves like this in the upcoming future, or the short-term future. ASTC, you know, having an interesting little run here. I was thinking about trying to dip by it around 5.5, but we didn't pull back all the way, so I missed that entry. Totally fine. I'm not going to try to rush into anything. Whoa, my mouse is not clicking. Why is it not working? 1 second here. All right, I'm going to have to use my laptop. I don't know, maybe it ran out of battery or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave this limit order around 5.3 or 5.53 in a little bit longer. Maybe we're going to get a dip on it. I don't know. 6 seems to be big time support. You know, ASTC could just keep on running the rest of the day. Who knows what's going to happen with it. But for now, I'm kind of done trading it. It's also past 11. I don't want to really be trading anymore, so I'm going to kind of let it go. We also have big resistance here at 8. I'm just super shocked that it ran up so hard so quickly. So it was good fun watching it. So let's talk about CTSO, because this one was our second lead gapper, and, you know, 110% pre-market, first green day, 31 million float, and possible coronavirus treatment news. So this thing, I thought, had a lot going for it as well. The problem was pre-market, it was not looking very good. We were down here below over 30% down from pre-market highs. And you know what I'm always saying with those pre-market highs, it's so important that, you know, we're kind of holding, I would say above 25% down from pre-market highs. We're holding above VWAP ideally. I mean, let's just check out really quickly again, ASTC. Where was this holding out? See, this one had pre-market highs near $4, but guess what? It only pulls back right around here, you know, 19-22%. You know, that's below the 25%, negative 25% that I keep talking about. Once you start having stocks pulling back past 30%, then 35, and then before you know they're at 40, and then 50, and then they just kind of sell off the rest of the day. You really want to see this high being held, and that's what we saw with ASTC. And actually kind of a nice little cup and handle. So here's the cup and here's the handle. We were talking about that on the stream as well. So just such a nice move. CTSO, I had a limit order on it, or for it, at 5.17 or something like that. I went ahead and removed that limit order. Let me scroll back here. And so right around these two red lines and right above it, so 527 or something like that, I could actually just go ahead and check. So if you check monitor and then you go here to canceled orders, you can always see where your orders were. So we were talking about CTSO, yeah, 527, you can see it right here. That's where I had my ideal orders. So let's go back to that's back to the chart. So we pulled back to 5.57 or something like that. And then we bounced, had a nice little bounce here, about 8%. Not really, you know, the biggest move, but totally could have been possible to trade. And I think CTSO, from the looks of it, is probably just going to keep on pulling back. I wouldn't be surprised if it broke under 5.5 today. I don't think it's going to have some sort of afternoon rip. It might, but it doesn't look very good anymore for it, which is honestly kind of surprising. I really thought CTSO was going to be a bit more of a, you know, bit stronger of a move, but again, that float, you got to keep a close eye on this float. This is shares outstanding, but they're usually fairly similar. Let's talk about IMAC, because I actually had a little trade on IMAC, and it was on a different account, our Roth IRA account. I don't always talk about these trades because they're not super relevant towards this small cap gap and go challenge account, which we're in right now. But the reason I will be talking about this one is because IMAC was our lead gapper the day before. And a lot of times we have lead gappers, and I love when we have these clear big breakout zones at like 2.5 to 3. We had a big time breakout here in this area. And, you know, we rip, what was this? This is a huge move. This is an 80% move from the breakout area. And then now we're pulling back here. Whoops, you can't really see where we're pulling back. Sorry about that. About 44%, so huge. But we're pulling back to that former breakout zone. And I love those first time pullback bounces. So I am AC. Let me quickly just switch my account so you guys can see this. IRA should be popping up here. Nice pullback. And then I had a limit order here waiting for it at 2.58. It dips down a little bit lower than my limit order, but then rips up here 39%. I actually forgot to check this one because it was a limit order. I wasn't really paying attention to it. At the time, I was watching ASTC like a hawk. So I didn't really get this. I didn't watch this whole big move to happen. But then we were starting to form a little a bear flag here, and we had a nice little pop to the upside. And I closed it at 307, actually near the perfect high. So I got really lucky with this exit. Scored around, you know, $245. So I think with this position size, that was like probably about a 20% return, which is really nice. Maybe even over 20% return. So just the reason I really want to talk about this trade is because, you know, this is a classic first green day. It was on the top of our watch list on the small cap gap and go challenge, and now we're pulling back to former key support, long-term support and resistance levels. Not to mention, you know, check this out, 180-day moving average right here, and boom, we bought it right as we retouched that 180-day moving average. So this is one of those setups I love to do, and I do them all the time. It's one of my favorite trading setups. So let's actually go back here to the cash account, and before I get too off topic, but just want to share that trade with you guys. Let's go ahead and talk about TTOO. This is my last trade I had on the day, and this stock, I didn't have it on the gap scanner at first. It was on the aftermarket open scanner, and whoops, okay, so this is the daily chart, and this thing was starting to move up pretty nicely. It was also shouted out a few times in the chat room, I think by Keith, and I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. You know, we had a flat top breakout. We're right above big time support, so everything's looking really nice on TTOO. Why are the charts not updating? 1 second. So I thought, here's the flat top breakout. We had a little bit of a double top here, pulled back again, and now we had a breakout. So I was like, okay, we had a solid breakout here at 0.9, and this was a 9% move. And guess what? Now we're gonna probably pull back and have a retest here. So I had a limit order at waiting there at 0.9033, and we got that entry. But this is a big reason I don't like trading sub-dollar stocks. You get these giant spreads. Sometimes there's not a lot of trading volume in them, even though today there is a lot of trading volume in TTOO. So I don't really get it. Let's see. They also had news on a coronavirus test screener. They licensed to a coronavirus test. So they also had big time news, but again, these sub-dollar stocks you want to watch out a little bit more for. And yeah, this is exactly why we have these big spikes to the upside or to the downside. You could easily get on the wrong side of the trades, and that's kind of what happened here. I mean, we had a pretty nice entry, but then the price kept on pulling back. We were down like 10% in just a second, but then right away the price pulled back up. I actually missed this because this was a limit order and I was watching a different trade. But it all happened so fast. And then I held it for another minute and I was like, I really don't like what happened here. I really think we might keep pull back up, and I wanted a nice little 5% bounce trade. And honestly, that's what we would have got. But this kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I felt like it would probably freaked out some other traders. So I didn't want to just wish and hope that it would happen. And I don't know, this is kind of disappointing because we could have made a nice little trade off of this. This could have been a good profit. So I ended with a small loss. Luckily it was a small loss. Luckily I didn't have some sort of stop that triggered me an exit here or something like that. That's probably what happened. This was probably a flash crash based on stops. That's why we don't have automated stop losses on small caps. I like to watch where I want to get out. But yeah, I mean, overall, that's pretty much it. I think watching, where is it again? Watching ASTC a little bit longer today, maybe trying to get some sort of trade on it. I don't know. I don't want to get on the wrong side of ASTC. And this is one of those stocks that, keeps punching up to new highs and just, breaking past resistance levels. And then before you know it, you finally enter it and then boom, it's down like 30% in a candle. And I don't know. I'd be a little weary trading it now. I'll keep my limit order here probably a little bit longer. But I think for now, I'm probably going to be done. I'm pretty happy. We had a good day today. Not obviously the biggest profits that you might want watching a stock that, rips 100% right after you close the position. That sometimes is a little bit annoying. But, a nice solid day where I grew all my accounts, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I cannot complain because, just doing this consistently is how you grow your accounts over the long run. And, that's what we've been doing. And we're getting close to doubling our small cap account. And we've already quadrupled our IRA account. So, so things are looking pretty good. Let me have a little sip of water. Yeah, so I think that's everything to talk about today. Let me know how you guys did. Did you guys trade ASTC? Did you guys get that big old rally to the upside? I know some of you guys in the stream chat did. That was just really good fun watching it with everyone. That's everything for this video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. And if you're totally new here, consider subscribing. I'd love to see you again. Yeah, until next time, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.